Hello guys, today I am going to explain mucormycosis. Before we entering into the topic, we need to know why the corticosteroids are considered as a life-saving medication in a COVID care. Before knowing this reason, we need to know about the SARS-CoV-2 mechanism. SARS-CoV-2 mainly affects the human respiratory system. Human lung have an alveolar epithelium layer on the surface of which the angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptors are present. These receptors allows the SARS-CoV-2 development in the body. After that, it causes a cytopathic effect. There comes an important question. What is cytopathic effect? It is nothing but the changes that occurs in the host cell infected by a coronavirus. Then it causes exudative edema, which is mainly the inflammation that leads to reduced level of oxygen in the blood. This condition is known as a hypoxemia. In such a situation, the patient may need immediate mechanical ventilation. If it is not provided, that leads to mechanical stress and release of midkines and other cytokines. Cytokines is a small signaling protein. It was elevated during the inflammation time. These changes increase the AC2 expression. By corticosteroid therapy, reducing this mechanical stress and reducing the AC2 expression. After that, what kind of mechanical ventilations are provided? ECMO. That means extracorporeal membrane oxygenation is a process by which where artificial lung oxygen is supplied to the blood. Next, I am going to explain the mechanism behind the corticosteroid. Before entering into the steroid mechanism, we need to know about cytokines. Cytokines is a small signaling protein that is present within our body. During inflammation time, it was raised to fight against the pathogens. But in COVID situation, arising of this cytokine release cause mechanical stress to the respiratory system and increasing the expression of AC2 at last causes to mortality. Shall we move into the corticosteroid mechanism? Yes. If the patient injected with corticosteroids, after that, within the cell, it was diffused into the cytoplasm. Then it activates the heat shock protein. When this heat shock protein was activated during a stressful situation. After that, the corticosteroid and heat shock protein combine to form a heat shock protein receptor complex. After this process, expression of the glucocorticoid response element is taken place in the specific DNA that leads to decrease the productions of cytokines. If it is happen, automatically decrease the mechanical stress and the expression of AC2 in the lung. At last, the immune suppression is happen. This is the main reason behind the mucormycosis. Now we are moving into the mucormycosis topic. Mucormycosis, previously called as a zygomycosis, is a serious but rare fungal infection caused by a group of molds called a Mucormycetes spores. Mucormycosis mainly affects people who have a health problem or take medications that lowers the body's ability to fight germs and also known as an immunocompromised patient. Once a pathogen entered into our healthy host, automatically innate immune effectors such as neutrophil and macrophages are our first cellular response against the foreign attack. After that, in healthy host, phagocytic recruitment is undergone to engulf the foreign particles, especially in the situation it is spores. That time, more and more cellular response is taken place to fight against the pathogen. In other side, the inability or lack of a phagocytic recruitment and spores containment is taken place for the susceptible host. After that, invasive filamentous growth is taking place. That means within the endothelial cell, the spreading rapidly, this filament growth is taking place. Okay, that is mucorales. To quick growing nature of these mucorales as a main contributor to the high mortality during mucormycosis. One important thing is that is sometimes the healthy host to lack of spore killing is taken place. This is due to disease reactivation. Before knowing about the disease reactivation, we need to know that latent infection. Latent infection is that was present in our body hiddenly or inactive or dormant stage with the mucorales. It was activated after acquiring a immunosuppression. Then lack of immune cell crosstalk. That means the pathogen enter into the healthy host, the immune cell send a signal to the other immune cell to produce a chemical mediator to protect against that pathogen. That communication lag is taken place due to the virulence of the pathogen. Next, we are moving into the symptoms of a mucormycosis. First, it affecting the nose and causes a inflamed nose that was spread into the orbital area and cause high inflamed pain, headache, fever, elevation in the body temperature that causes fever or fever with cough, breathing difficulties, bloody vomit, and altered mental status. How to prevent? By wearing a mask properly washing our hands, sanitizing the area routinely, proper cleaning. When to suspect? In COVID-19, diabetes or immunosuppressive individual. The symptoms of a mucormycosis depend upon where in the body the fungus is growing. Number one, rhino-orbital cerebral mucormycosis. This kind of a mucormycosis first affecting the nose and causes a sinusitis. The condition in which the cavities around the nasal passages become inflamed. That is one of the sinusitis. And also spread into the brain and causes a brain also infected. Within the nasal surface, blackish discharge is taking place and also affecting the orbital area and cause blurred vision with pain. Next, we are moving into the mediastinum mucormycosis. Mediastinum is a part of the chest that lies between the sternum and the spinal column and between the lung. This area containing the heart, large blood vessels. Mediastinum affected by the mucormycosis, that's why they call it as a mediastinum mucormycosis. First, it affecting the chest and causes a chest pain. The buildup of fluid between the tissue, the linings, the lungs and chest is called a pleural effusion. The some important thing is that COVID patients should be alert. They have to, the fungi virus is spread into the cheek area and causes a local pain on the cheekbone that was spread into the tooth and also causes toothache, thrombus formation in the blood vessels, necrosis and hemoptysis, blood with vomit. The important thing is that COVID patients should be alert. They have to control their hypoglycemic level, monitoring the blood glucose level post-COVID discharge patient, use steroid judiciously, use antifungal and antibiotic judiciously. Next, we are entering into the treatment for a mucormycosis. Is antifungal. Based upon the fungi species, we are going to select the drug. For mucormycosis species, the drug is an amphotericin B. Amphotericin B comprises a 38-membered macrocyclic ring formed by a lactonization process, and it has a chain of unsubstituted conjugated double bond, that is heptenes. On another side, it containing a hydrophilic tail. On opposite side, a 7 free hydroxy group. That means hydrophilic polyol chain. It is an amphipathic character. That means it having both hydrophilic and hydrophobic. The mucosamine residue rested at the one end of the molecule with a free amino acid. Mechanism behind the amphotericin B is the outermost layer of the fungi cell wall is ergosterol. The hydrophobic part of the molecules bind to the ergosterol. Before knowing the mechanism, we need to know the cell wall composition. The fungi cell wall consisting of an ergosterol, phospholipids. After that, we are going to administering the amphotericin B. As a result of within the plasma cell membrane, the connections, pores, and channels are formed in the plasma membrane of the fungi that allows the extravasation of electrolyte. That means leakage, because the intracellular mediums like in potassium, magnesium, sodium are essential for normal functioning of a fungi. If the leakage is taking place, at last it causes an osmotic lysis that leads to cell death. But in mammalian membrane, instead of ergosterol, they consisting of an cholesterol. Some of the adverse effects produced by an amphidasin B is anemia, cardiotoxicity, and nephrotoxicity. Next, I am going to explain about the adverse effects and toxicity produced by the amphidasin B. Number one is the infusion site reaction. After administration of amphidasin B, it causes a fever and producing a chillness to the body. A sudden feeling of cold with shivering accompanied by a rising temperature is known as a rigor. And also vomiting also may happen, headache, hypotension. Some of the time while infusion is undergoing, inflammation of vein also taken place. This is due to the amphidasin B infusion by intravenous catheter. The clotting area of the vein is known as the phlebitis, but it may occur without or with the blood clot. When caused by the blood sample, it will called thrombophlebitis. To prevent infusion site reaction, focus on the following. Oral acetaminophen to reduce the fever. Infusion related reactions like in fever, rigors, chills, nausea, vomiting, and headaches are mediated by the cytokine release. To prevent this, they are administering the hydrocortisone sodium succinate injection via IV. Then essential thing is they have to maintain a slow infusion rate to avoid an infusion site reaction. Before administering the amphotericin B, test dose 1 mg of an amphotericin B help to assess the severity. Second adverse effect is that is important adverse effect. It is related to the nephrotoxicity. Renal toxicity is related to depending upon the dose and duration of the therapy of an amphotericin B. Amphotericin B shows nephrotoxicity in various ways. Amphotericin B directly affecting the distal tubules and indirectly affecting the afferent arteriole via vasoconstriction. That leads to reduced renal perfusion within the kidney that, that cause a pre-renal injury. What is pre-renal injury? When a sudden reduction in the blood flow to the kidney, that is known as a pre-renal injury. The time kidney need a help with regular damage of renal tubular cell and it also affecting the erythropoietin mechanism. There comes an important question. What is an erythropoietin? Erythropoietin is an essential hormone produced primarily by the kidney. This erythropoietin play a key role in the production of red blood cell. At last, reduced erythropoietin production leads to during an amphotericin B therapy, the loss of an magnesium and potassium is taken place. To overcome this problem, supplement of an magnesium and potassium is needed. At last, at last, and also one more important nephrotoxicity is azotemia. The elevated level of urea and other nitrogen component in the blood. Thank you for watching.